She said what now?
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Yes, y'all, we're back at it with another conversation about Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. And honestly, I'm just going to be real, y'all. This thing is absolutely knuckin' futz. There are more twists and turns than a roller coaster ride. All right. And I'm at this point right now, like I've said in a million other videos as well, I am still wondering if this is some wild script that she wrote that maybe she wanted to audition to Tyler Perry or something like that. Like this is some strange conservative international espionage James Bond, John Grisham novel that she's trying to write. I don't know, okay? But right now it feels like it's been written by Diablo himself, okay? Because let's be real. The plot points are insane. The players are very powerful. And then every time Candace Owens ever speaks, opens her mouth, literally, on this particular topic, 10 more dominoes fall over. And we're all scratching our heads wondering, is this true? Is she just making things up? Is this one big fat ass fugazi? What is going on here, right? So, okay, here's what's going on here now, all right? Whoo! Candace Owens has had a day, okay? So she has officially connected Charlie Kirk's taking out to a multi-billion-dollar DuPont deal. Yes, DuPont, as in the DuPont family, the people who literally print money for freaking breakfast. And she's saying she's going to be naming names publicly. She also says multiple TPUSA insiders, and she's saying that there's more than half a dozen of these mother-loving insiders, all told her the exact same thing. That right after Charlie Kirk lost his life, someone in TPUSA leadership made an immediate phone call to one specific donor prospect. I'll let you guys think who it is. I'm kidding. I'll let you know. But it's not just any donor, guys. We're talking about Pierre DuPont. Yeah. She's now pointing at that guy. Now, like I said, I'm just wondering where she's getting all her information. I'm wondering if she is properly vetting these individuals. Like I said, broken clock could be right 2 times a day. But I feel like at this point, maybe she's throwing a whole bunch of stuff on the wall to see what sticks. I don't know. But nonetheless, I want to pause on this for a second because I'm going to be real. If I ever get like, you know what I mean? And the first thing somebody does is call a billionaire, let's be real. I need y'all to at least pretend to be sad, at least for like 5 seconds, okay? Like just get a little moist in the eyes, okay? Like shed one tiny little tear. All right, that's all I'm asking. Something. But apparently, according to these sources, the literal second Charlie lost his life, a phone call went out to this particular dude. And nobody knows why. Reassurance, damage control, renegotiation, celebration. Hey, bro, you know, that was a crazy day, huh? You know what I mean? What was that call? And then, of course, she has some things. She's put out some allegations as well about Charlie Kirk's best friend and executive producer to his show, Andrew Colvett, basically saying that he lost millions of dollars in connection to Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, this is just absolutely freaking insane. And so we got to look at some of these tweets that she's been putting out here. And of course, there's a big video, big clip that we're going to be looking at here in just a second. But this is absolutely crazy. And I'm going to ask the questions over and over and over again. How does she know that this information is ironclad? Now, I get it. There's a lot of people out there that are watching this video right here that believe everything that she says. And there's a lot of people that are always side-eyeing her with their arms crossed, you know, or just the arms crossed, just side-eyeing her and everything. I get that. But at the same time, this is at some point, she's got to come with receipts. It can't just be, I have a feeling about this. Because if you notice, because I've been watching her show, she'll sit there and go, I have a feeling about this. It's not, here is some ironclad evidence written on paper recordings, videos, whatever it may be, solid evidence, baby, that says, yes, all of these things are connected. Remember this a couple of days ago, she said Israel was involved. Then she said France is involved. Now she's saying something along the lines of TPUSA is involved in the annihilation of Charlie Kirk. This is absolutely insane. All because of money, or maybe the lack thereof. Maybe a deal that didn't go through. Let's not forget what she said before. Charlie Kirk was having a text message conversation in a group chat. He was losing millions of dollars from Jewish donors because he was going to bring on Tucker Carlson onto his show. They were very, very much not okay with that. They objected that idea. They basically dangled their millions of dollars over TPUSA's head, or Charlie Kirk's head, and said, "Hey, you bring Tucker Carlson on the show, we taking our money back," right? And he said, "Well, maybe I don't need to be talking pro-Israel stuff anymore." That's one part. Clearly, he was starting to lose money at that moment. But then, like I said, we hear France involved. We hear now DuPont family being involved. What's really going on here? And I feel like she's literally saying all of this has to do, in my mind, has to do with some sort of money. Losing multiple millions, if not billions of dollars. This is absolutely insane. So look at this tweet. Look at this tweet here. I received information last night that put the final pieces together for me. Okay, what emails did she get? You know what I'm saying? What emails did she receive, and did she properly vet these things? I'm just asking, y'all. I think we all have to ask these doggone questions. We can't just take everything at face value and say, well, that's what she said, it must be true. Anybody can send her stuff. Anybody can send her an email and be like, yep, you're right, girl. That DuPont theory is absolutely right. Keep running down that dark alley and see what happens. You see what I'm saying? And at some point, this could potentially be very dangerous. She was already talking about threats, right? But also the fact that she could be saying certain things that have no merit, that might not be right at all. But then at the same time, people are going to start side-eyeing TPUSA, side-eyeing the people of TPUSA. Shoot, side-eyeing Erica Kirk as well, because it's not like she's saying clarifying names here. She's just saying TPUSA, especially with what she says this next paragraph. She says, I now can say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by the leadership of Turning Point USA and that some of the very people who eulogized his name on stage. I got a little early on that button, but you see what I'm saying? The dun dun dun, yeah. Who are the people that eulogized him on stage? Yes, I will be naming names and providing evidence for my claims. I hope she does bring more solid evidence, right? And I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated for this godforsaken organization to request a refund. You were lied to, and leadership knew. Now I'm going to hit it on time. So say what? So now it's a take your money back. Request a refund because it's all BS. What? Now, let me just say this. These are very, very heavy claims to be saying against a massive organization that keeps on growing. TPUSA chapters are showing up in almost every single university now. You got to be kidding me with this. This is very reckless if she doesn't have solid evidence, solid proof. You realize that, right? This is bad. This is no good. This is no bueno. This is no bueno, y'all. But let's continue on. She posted this too, which is crazy. Again, she says, this is from Luke 16:13. No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. This is apparently what Charlie Kirk may have sent her in 2018. I don't know. She just posted it and said, CC TPUSA. Damn. Okay. Now let me just keep it a bean. That tweet could be from anything. That tweet could be about anything. It's not like we're seeing the rest of the conversation. We're just seeing that passage. That's it. So again, very, very interesting stuff. All right. The fact that she is saying out here that TPUSA has some sort of connection to the taking out of Charlie Kirk is absolutely diabolical, especially when you do not have any solid evidence that she has shown to the public yet. Okay? She has not shown anything as far as the recording of this video. She has not shown anything yet. She has put out theories. She does say that a lot, like, this is how I feel. I have a feeling about this, but it's not like, here is solid evidence. Let's take a look at this video here. All right, this is from today. She talks more about this whole situation. She even says, Turning Point has been keeping a big secret. That is the title of this freaking video, of this freaking live show. Crazy, guys. Crazy. She better come with the heat. And she better come with the heat very soon, because now she's dipping into TPUSA's pockets, y'all. She is saying that they're liars. They've lied to the general public. And all those donations that people have been receiving, or that people have been giving to TPUSA, is just one big fat ass grift, basically. Wow. It's just strong words to say. I hope she has something to back it up.
Thought was quite odd that they learned that happened on the day of Charlie's assassination was a rumor pertaining to Justin Strife. An oddly placed phone call that he made almost immediately, as they say. This is alleged. I wasn't on the phone call after Charlie was shot. And I will say allegedly because there's 6 people at Turning Point USA who have said this, that were talking about this. This rumor got passed around. They said that Justin had placed an immediate call to a donor prospect. And I said, that's weird, okay? I'd like to know more about that. Can everybody try to figure out what donor that was? Now, it's possible it could have just been a very close donor friend. Charlie had them. He did. There were some donors that he loved like family members.
So why can't it just be that then? I understand that she's going to come in with her reasoning, but I got to say these things because of fair use. But anyway, I just think it's very interesting that she's very quick to say, oh yeah, the phone call to the donor, this is what's going on. Or, it just seems very odd. Yeah, it does seem odd, but there could be a multitude of other reasons. Maybe DuPont family was going to donate, and they were in the middle of solidifying this huge deal. But then Charlie Kirk lost his life. So the deal kind of went belly up. Or they were trying to call him and basically say, we lost Charlie, but we have a plan. TPUSA is not over. We're not going to stop, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's other reasons to call that donor. And again, maybe he was close to those people in the DuPont family. We don't know. We don't freaking know. Anything's possible, right? So again, it does make it, I got questions. I understand she got questions too, but I feel like there are some logical explanations behind it too. But you could also throw in there that the possibility of something sinister going on. I don't know. It just seems so odd.
And so that was a potential long shot thing, but just interesting. I'd like to know who he was so close to that required an immediate call. Then it turns out that these ladies told me that this donor actually had a pretty big piece of bait on the hook for Turning Point USA. A piece of their $1 billion company. They were anticipating some IPO, and that this was going to be life-changing money, okay? We're not talking like, oh, a check that's going to be reeled in for $5 million or $10 million or $50 million or like the $90 million that Turning Point USA raised in the first couple of weeks following Charlie's assassination. We are talking like billionaire money, potentially billions of dollars. And this was a very big secret, a huge secret. Just a handful of people were allowed to even know about this, that this was happening. In fact, there's probably people that are watching this right now at Turning Point USA who work in donations. I think it's a pretty large department that have no idea, have never even heard of this, because that's how incredibly top level secret this was. Okay. But people began to find out about this because of just an unfortunate conversation that had been left unattended to. Okay. Now, why was the secret supposed to be so guarded? Why is this person getting a phone call? I wanted to know. I wanted to know more. And I start messaging our mommy sleuths and our daddy sleuths and all of my sources at Turning Point USA. And I'm saying anything that you can tell me about this in case this might be important.
Okay. That is the part that I get a little nervous about. You want to know why? When you're just hitting up anybody, and don't get me wrong, shout out to you lovely mama sleuths out there. Okay. Y'all are incredible too. Okay. And daddy sleuths. But when you start throwing it out to anybody, and I get it, she probably has some sources that she relies on or that she trusts. But at the same time, you can have a few of those sleuths out there be completely wrong and only fabricate, their own conspiratorial ideals, right? Their conspiratorial theories. Remember what I have said before, okay? Idle minds are the conspirator's plaything, okay? Like the conspiracy theorist's plaything, all right? For long story short, all right? When you got nothing but your own conspiracies, you can find anything, okay? You can find anything to feed that particular narrative that you have in your mind. And we've seen a little bit of that from Candace Owens. I'm not sitting here saying that everything that she has said has been 110% ironclad. This is specifically the reason why I'm doing this video right now here too. Okay? Like I said, idle minds are the conspiracy theorist plaything. Real talk, they can be. When you got suspicious minds and you're only in that suspicious realm, you are just going to find anything. Oh, this black pen was found next to his table. This must mean something. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of things that people can do to feed their conspiracies so that they feel right in their own narrative, right? Especially when it comes to situations where we don't have much information. Don't get me wrong. Shoot, the stuff that the feds have given us revolving around this particular case and the lack thereof information, hell yeah, it's trash. And of course there's going to be conspiracies. But I say, please be careful and please know where you're getting your sources from are viable, solid sources. Now, here's the other thing too, because I can already hear the QWERTY keyboards clacking away. Here's the thing. I don't know her sources, okay? And I would hope that she's being very careful and that she's vetting these particular sources and the particular information that she's receiving. That's what I'm hoping for. But at the same time, we have heard things and theories from Candace Owens before that has been pretty far-fetched in the past as well, with no solid evidence. Let's be real, okay? I'm not saying all things. I'm just saying some things that she has come out with has had a few loose ends, okay? Has been left open-ended, okay? So, again, when you're reaching out to the mama and daddy sleuths and anybody that could know anything, you're going to get a mountain of emails and text messages and voicemails and phone calls and etc. about theories. I'm just hoping that she knows what is BS and what's worth running down as far as that story that she's being fed. But let's continue.
And I got an answer on the name of a donor, and I had completely forgotten because, again, this happened so early following the assassination. I am talking before I even went to Wyoming. My brain was still traumatized. I had so much information that I was trying to process while I was grieving that I literally forgot the big part that I learned about this donor. I forgot. And these young women told me that this donor was French American and that this donor's name was Pierre. And it wasn't until yesterday after we went off air that I presented to you all of this stuff about the DuPont family, that it clicked. And these ladies messaged me and said, "Oh, you figured it out. It's Pierre DuPont. Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point." I had mentioned Pierre DuPont on yesterday's show, and this took my breath away. I will be honest, I cried really hard yesterday thinking, my goodness, how could I have forgotten that this donor was French American, that was the big thing. And I was racking my brain trying to figure out that time because I hadn't even considered France's involvement in anything. Like, who do I know that's French and has tons of money and is involved in technologies and could possibly be working on a big check that could be kept secret because it's about to IPO and billions are on the line. And then it all kind of came together. And I would like an answer about this Pierre, the billionaire French-American donor. And I would like a clean answer as to whether or not it is Mr. Pierre DuPont.
Okay. So you heard about Pierre DuPont. Here's the thing, all right? You know, again, like I've said a million times before, broken clock could be right 2 times a day, but then there's another part of me that goes, wait a second, especially when she tells the timeline. And of course, you know, she's just giving us an abbreviation of the timeline, or it could be very well what that timeline was. She mentioned DuPont in a previous show. She received an email from somebody going, you connected the dots? Pierre DuPont, right? The DuPont family, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. That doesn't sound like a definitive, oh, Pierre DuPont. Yeah, that's the guy. You're on it. It's, oh my gosh, Pierre DuPont. That's a big name. Question mark? Could that be him? So again, like I said, I understand that she could just be grabbing whatever she can grab. And she's just throwing everything on the wall and seeing what sticks. I get it. When you're trying to figure things out and you're trying to find the culprit, find the bad guy, and you are your only Scooby-Doo team, okay? With your own personal, what is it, the mystery machine? I forgot what it's called. The van. Isn't it a mystery machine? Anyway. When you're just doing everything yourself, you are Shaggy. Or you know what I'm talking about. I forgot the damn, what's his name? Scooby-Doo. That's what I meant, okay? When you have the whole Scooby-Doo crew, all right? You have the mystery machine and all that, and you're the only person, you Shaggy, you Scooby-Doo, you everybody, okay? At the end of the day, you're going to have to there's going to be a moment of desperation where you're going to throw everything on the wall and just see what sticks and see what's real and what's not. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you this, the things that she said, what she's on, like what she's doing and what she's trying to get into. I'm not sitting here saying that she shouldn't be asking any questions. Damn right. Ask all the questions, but I say, ask the questions quietly behind closed doors, get all that information and then serve it. Give us all the receipts, right? Not just I have a feeling about this, or I received an email, or a couple sources, these ladies told me this, that, and the third. You also got to remember, the sources that she's receiving, we can't always rely on those sources 110%. Let's be real. Shoot, we were just talking about another tragedy that just happened the other day, and the sources were giving out information that wasn't correct at all. saying, oh yeah, the body was frozen but then they said it wasn't. Now they're saying it was, then they wasn't. You just know what I'm saying? And these are sources close to the medical examiners saying X, Y, and Z. And then it's just rumors that start getting spread around. And that's the same thing I'm seeing here. I don't see any solid evidence of what she's saying here. And it makes me resort right back to the tweet or the X post that she put up on her account. When she's sitting there going, they're diabolical. Do not donate. Take your money back. Request and demand a refund. They're lying to your faces. Those are strong claims to have when you don't have solid evidence to back it up. Sorry, but that's just what it is. We all like we all like to say, we all want to see the receipts. We all love to see the receipts because that vindicates the particular person that's putting out those claims. Am I right? We can go all day long with speculation, but then it gets messy. And right now it's getting messy. It wouldn't be messy if she had receipts. Real talk. It would not be messy if she got receipts. The TPUSA, somebody in the leadership of TPUSA giving a call to the likes of, the DuPont family really could have been a situation of, okay, we're going to have to put things on pause because, yes, I understand you're interested in, the IPO, dropping billions of dollars. There's going to be a huge deal for TPUSA, huge moves and life-changing moves. I get it. But when you have somebody who is the face and the head of the organization lose their life, you kind of have to call everybody. And maybe that was the biggest moment right then and there. They were in the middle of solidifying this deal, and he lost his life. It makes sense to make a phone call. Eventually, seconds after he lost his life is pretty insane, but at the same time, billions of dollars is billions of dollars. So I don't know, guys. What say you? What say you on this? I just find this to be so crazy. So crazy. I'm not sitting here saying that what she's saying is far-fetched, but I need her to start connecting the dots. Do you agree? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, very dirty, very messy to go after the whole organization. And don't get me wrong. I get it. We are all side-eyeing TPUSA in some shape or form, whether it is the memorial service that threw you off or the stuff that's been going on afterwards, how they've been responding to Candace Owens as of late. I get it. Trust and believe. I get all of that, okay? But the fact that she's saying they have some sort of connection to the taking out of their leader, of the face of TPUSA, that is some heavy claims, and I hope she has evidence. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button, and we'll talk here very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.